I was a very highly functioning non-commissioned officer. I was a platoon sergeant at the time. I was kind of always being groomed for that next rank. I was getting sent to the right schools, had the support of my chain of command. Things were going really good. After I witnessed this traumatic event on my last deployment in Iraq, that's when the medications really started coming. I mean, full force. And like I said before, before I knew it, I was on 9 to 12 different kind of medications. And when I was going through the separation process in the Army, I had to get some physicals and evaluations from outside people. These professionals would see my records come up on the screen and the amount of medications that I was put on throughout my time in the Army, but especially the last couple of years, and they would literally gasp. And they were shocked at the amount of drugs, the high doses of these drugs. It was like a 6-page rap sheet.
Étant donné toutes les façons dont les drogues psychiatriques peuvent réagir sur le corps, comment les psychiatres font-ils pour contrer un effet secondaire d'un médicament qu'ils vous ont donné? Ils ne vous font pas arrêter le médicament. Soit ils augmentent la dose, ce qui risque de causer plus d'effets secondaires, soit ils ajoutent un autre médicament, ce qui en créera encore plus. Puis un autre. Et encore un autre.
It was clear right away that they really had no idea what anything that they were giving me was really going to do. They said, this drug may not work. You may need a different one. This one may need a higher dose. This one may need a lower dose.
There was friends of mine that I saw had 2, 3, 4 pills that they had to take daily.
You find soldiers that are on dozens of medications. And when I say, 7 to 9 drugs at one point, I'd say that was very average. I've heard as high as 14.
I know of some troops, personally, who were given up to 20 different drugs.
It's kind of depressing if you look at the number of medications that I've been on. It's very thick. It makes up a large portion of my medical file with the Veterans Administration.
And a lot of people were on not only psychiatric drugs, but drugs for their injuries. And the combination made them different. They weren't the same people.
They're mixing amphetamines with painkillers and antidepressants and sleeping pills. I mean, even to the unlearned, that sounds insane.
Cette pratique est si courante qu'elle a même un nom. La polypharmacie. Et voici un fait peu connu. Un grand nombre de ces médicaments n'ont jamais été testés combinés les uns avec les autres, ce qui fait que ceux qui les prennent le font sans aucune sécurité.
The danger escalates with every increase in dose and every increase in the number of medications.
I have watched my clients who have been prescribed psychotropic drugs, sometimes a cocktail, often a cocktail, sometimes a single drug, and they are grievously changed.
If they were experiencing an adverse effect, how would they know which drug it was? Was it the antipsychotic? Who knows? Was it the antidepressant? Was it a combination? These guys don't know. All they know is they're supposed to take these because their doctor said they'll be better. And in fact, they only got worse.
And the problem is that there's no attention to the detail of what happens to these troops that are placed on them. There's no follow-up. They're simply placed on them, given a great big huge supply of them, and they're sent out to fight.
D'ailleurs, il y a des soldats américains que l'on approvisionne régulièrement pour 180 jours d'un coup quand ils vont au front. Aucune supervision, aucune restriction. Et ils les prennent quand ils veulent.
And what happens to it when they go into combat? Are they sharing with their friends? Sure they are. That's why I've been told by social workers, corpsmen, medics, that 90% of the troops in combat have at one time or other taken some type of psychiatric medication.
It's just a grand, crazy, insane pharmaceutical roulette that's being conducted at the expense of our nation's sons and daughters, really.
My husband never did drugs, nothing, never did anything. And I dated him 5 years before I married him. And he never did anything like that. And then when he was in Afghanistan, the psychiatrist over there started giving him the medications for depression and, of course, the pain that he was in because he had been hit. And the first time he got hit, they just started drugging him up. And the second time he was hit is when they sent him home to me. And 2 weeks after him being home, the violence was so incredible. I told him that we needed counseling or we just needed to get a divorce because I couldn't live in the abuse that I had just gone through because my husband never treated me that way. Needless to say, at that point, I didn't realize that these drugs were affecting him. At one point in time, my husband was on 21 drugs, 21 at one time. I mean, and it was craziness. This is not, I don't even know who this person is that I lived with. I've tried to get him help right from the beginning with the drugs, and they're refusing him any help. They just keep continuing to give him the drugs, and he's not getting any treatment. His physical needs are not being met, and he's continuing to deteriorate on a daily basis. The whites of his eyes are now yellow. They have a yellow tint to them. His skin color is green and gray, and this happens often. And we do have the fear that we will wake up in the morning and he's going to die. Every day we live that every day. His daughter lives that every day. I live that every day. Is today the day that he's going to die? Is today the day I'm going to get the call? They need to give me my husband's life back, is what they need to do. They need to take him off the drugs so that he can think. He can't think. He doesn't know.
Ce qui est affreux, c'est qu'en réalité, il est très difficile d'arrêter de prendre ces drogues. Et 2 semaines peuvent suffire pour devenir dépendant de certaines d'entre elles.
Now we have soldiers coming back from the battlefield and they're addicted to psychotropic medications and they have a detox reaction back in civilian life and they begin to exhibit the side effects for which they were being pre-medicated. So they become depressed, they become suicidal.
Not only is it dangerous to be on these drugs, it's also very dangerous to come off of them. In fact, in many cases, the suicides happen immediately after someone stops taking an antidepressant drug. So if you do that, make sure you do it in a way where you have medical supervision and you have a support system in place so you can get off of those drugs safely.
Essayer de se sevrer soi-même des médicaments psy, surtout d'un coup, est très dangereux à cause des effets horribles que vous risquez de sentir.
I have an anxiety, I'm perspiring, I just don't know what to do.
Les psychiatres vous diront que c'est votre maladie mentale qui revient et qu'il vous faut reprendre vos médicaments. Ce n'est pas vrai. C'est le manque. Tout comme pour un narcotique.
The doctor did not tell me if I did come straight off of these that there would be a worse effect. I didn't know that. So when I did come off it, I fell harder.
These are actually addictive drugs, and I didn't know how to act without them.
The withdrawal process is rough. And one of the things that I experienced is all these emotions, all these feelings, all these trauma, all this sadness that wasn't being dealt with, wasn't being cared for. It was just being medicated. When I got off all those drugs, it was like a floodgate.
Even though you come off those pills, there's a period of time for, I think, a long, long time that stuff is coming out of your system. And sometimes you think that life would be better if you were dead.
Il est choquant de voir combien de soldats rentrent chez eux dépendants de drogues psychiatriques. Une enquête dans l'armée de terre américaine a découvert que 35% des soldats grièvement blessés à la guerre ont un problème de dépendance pharmaceutique. Et très souvent, la dépendance n'est pas temporaire, elle est à vie. Mais ça peut être encore pire. Car parfois, ces drogues peuvent s'avérer fatales. Elles frappent d'un coup et sans avertissement.